Hi, it's been a while. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a makeup video where I get ready and show you what my everyday makeup routine is, and I'm going to also talk through some of my favorite products basically throughout the year of 2022. My room is such a vibe right now. Like, you can see all the wall decorations and you can see the pink light. I have a candle in this corner. Yeah, you can see it. So before this intro gets too long, let's just jump right into it. I zoomed you guys in so you can see what's going on with my face. For primer, I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It is kind of the dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip. I like this one better because I feel like Hydro Grip can be a little bit too sticky and a little pilly on me, so I prefer this over Hydro Grip. I don't know what other ways you can put on primer other than just like swiping it all over your face. For foundation or for base product, I've been into products that are more like sheer coverage, moisturizing, and it kind of just evens out my skin tone. So today we're going to use the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. This is in the shade 8, and I've never really used a skin tint before, but this one is actually pretty nice. What I feel about this product is that you can clearly tell there's not that much coverage. You can see your natural skin peek through at some points, but it really looks like there's a beauty filter on your face in real life. Let me show you. I usually just kind of swerve it around my face. I don't know if you can see, but this is enough for my whole face. I've been using a brush to apply my foundations, quote unquote, after buying this product because I know it's a sheer coverage, so I kind of want more coverage out of the product without really changing the formula of it. So the brushes have been great to my skin, and I kind of feel like it's more convenient than like sponges because you don't need to like wet them and stuff. So this is what my skin looks like after the skin tint. You can clearly tell that I'm still wearing some makeup, but it looks very natural, and I'm pretty confident in my skin. I know I have good skin. I don't really have much blemishes, so this is all I need. But if you are someone who has spots and like blemishes and stuff, a tinted moisturizer probably is still enough for you because it's light enough. And if you do want to focus your coverage on some spots, you can just use a concealer afterwards. So yeah, I think skin tints are something that people should definitely get into. And I know this is the trend right now. So I'm not sure if I'm just following trends or am I just someone who had an epiphany about foundations, but I'm fine with using skin tints. So for concealer, I have two on my hands right now. This first one is the Milk Makeup Future Fluid. And this other one is KOSAS. It's by KOSAS. It's their Revealer Concealer. And it kind of matches my nails. Yeah. I kind of feel like the KOSAS one is a little bit more thick than the Milk one. And also the shade that I got was lighter than this one. So I kind of use them for different purposes on different days. I'm going to use the KOSAS one today, but you're going to see me use the Milk one in a future video. I put a little bit under my eyes here, outer corner. And I'm using a brush to tap it out. This is the same foundation brush. I'm done with my concealer now. It's really fast, as you can see. I know there's some people who do get ready with me and they're just getting ready to go nowhere. I'm actually gonna have to go somewhere in like less than an hour, so I better make this work. There still might be some dark circles peeking through, but I go to grad school, so I will have dark circles. I'm gonna do my bronzer now, and I know it is kind of different from how I usually do it in the past, but it's because I got a new product. So this one is the Rare Beauty Bronzer Stick. Mine is in the shade Happy Soul. It looks like this. It's very like millennial pink, clean but classy. I've only had this bronzer stick for about a month, but I've been using it every single day. I cannot put it down. It's just that good. I'm a pretty loyal person when it comes to bronzer because I've repurchased this Physicians Formula's Butter Bronzer multiple times. This one is probably like my third or fourth purchase of it. I really like that bronzer. It's also the first bronzer I ever bought for myself when I started to dabble into makeup and stuff. And I've never used a bronzer stick before, so when I tried this one from Rare Beauty and realizing it's actually really good, I was so excited. So this thing glides very easily, as you can see. And what I do is I would tap it out with a brush, like that. So the brush I'm using is also a foundation brush. At least I've been using it as a foundation brush before buying the other one that I used earlier in this video. So you can see on my forehead right now, that's kind of the finish that this bronzer stick gives. It's more on like the satin or matte side, and it never gets muddy. I've tried it on different foundations and it all looks this good. So it's a win. It's a win. And with my cheek, I do the same thing. I kind of just dab it out. You can see how fast it is blending out, and it just makes me so happy. I'm at the age where I want the makeup to look good on my skin, and I also don't want to spend a lot of time working for it. So this bronzer stick definitely is that. So this is what the bronzer stick looks like on my skin. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and it just looks really, really good, really like golden suntanned, healthy, just chef's kiss. So for setting my whole face, I'm using the Fenty Beauty, what is this? Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. You've seen it, you've tried it, you love it. I personally know this one works for me, and this is my second or third repurchase. I'm probably gonna keep buying it till I die. I also use this powder to set my under eyes, but I didn't really want to show it just now because I want to act fast before it sinks into my fine lines. I'm using a powder puff to set my whole face because I just feel like the finish on this is better. What I do is I just kind of lazily lay it on my face, and I would kind of press it into my face with the puff. So if there are some nooks and crannies that I think are harder to get to, I will use a brush like this. I also use the same brush to set my under eyes. I guess by nooks and crannies, I mean places I don't really know how to press it in with a puff. So something like my brows, like this top area of my nose bridge, maybe the side of my nose as well. I think we're done with setting powder. For brows, I'm going to use the same products I've been using for a long time. So this one is the brow pencil from kckc Color. It's a Chinese brand, and it's my tried and true brow pencil, and I buy a lot of them when I go home. And for brow gel, I'm using the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. I feel like it's harder to find in stores nowadays, but I do think this is better than the one that they have out now that has like the pink cap with the squeezy tube. I'll put a picture here. First step of doing my brows, I comb it up with a spoolie. It's pretty easy. So the way I do my brows right now is I'm going to outline the bottom of my brows, and I'm going to pull out right here, as you can see. And that's all I do with the brow pencil. And after that, I do a little bit of hair-like strokes at the front. And I comb it out a little bit so it's more even instead of having a harsh line on the bottom of my brows. There you have it. That's all I do with my brow pencil. I will use a different mirror. This one, I kind of cut it off of the Kaleidos bronzing trio. What is it called? Contour trio. Yeah, it's pretty handy. So after I do my brows, I would take a mirror and look at my brows in a different angle and see if they still make sense in that lighting. Basically, you're seeing where you're missing and you fill them in. So with brow gel, I usually comb it in reverse of my actual hair flow because I kind of like the look of it. It makes my brow hair stand up a little bit more. Gives it a more laminated look, if you will. In the front of my brows, I will use my pinky to press on it a little bit so it has a better like poking look, as you can see right here compared to this one. The whole combination is basically as easy as combing it, reverse, putting your pinky on your brow, and you're done. Honestly, my brows might look a little crazy, but I think they're fine, so. I have the same philosophy for brows as I do for like foundations. I kind of wanted to just replicate how I truly look in like a natural way, so I kind of just like lightly outlined it. I had basically the brow gel do most of the heavy lifting of it. So I'm gonna do blush now. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Putty blush in the shade Caribbean. This is a more like pinky color. I got it like during the summer, and I just cannot stop using it even after summer. It's just how good it is. It is not really a balm texture, but it's in a tub. And the best way I can describe it is that it has the pigmentation of like a balm blush, but it has the convenience of a powder blush. Basically what I mean by that is you can use a brush and you can put it directly on skin that has already been set by powder. Does that make sense? I usually like to swerve the brush inside of the powder, or I guess the tub, and I like to dot it onto my face like that. I will say though, this brush is the Putty blush brush from e.l.f., so it is made to basically pair with this exact formula, and it does work better than the brush I was using before. So I don't know if you can see, but like the blush when it's on your face, it just really quickly blooms into this beautiful skin-like finish, and it doesn't really take that much effort, which goes back to the point I was making about the bronzing stick, about how they don't really take that much time and finessing to show up on your skin and look cool. I don't know. I'm getting pretty hyped up about this, and I have another color. It's like a more burnt orange color, and I'm not going to use it today because this is just the one I use all the time. Of course, I'm going to blush my nose. After I put my blush on, I would use my powder puff with the, residue powder and kind of just press the blush in, setting it a little bit and creating this look where you just look like you're blushing naturally. You know what I mean? It kind of looks like that kind of blush that's peeking through your skin this way. I'm going to prime my eyelids now with the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. It's just an eyeshadow primer. I don't really see how much better it is to other ones, but I'm going to finish it. So, the reason why I don't feel strongly about this primer is because one time I was like, oh, I know a lot of beauty gurus, influencers, they like to put their eye primer on their eyes and they just go straight in with eyeshadow without any setting powder on top of the primer. And I did that once and it was kind of horrible. So, that just shows me that my powder was the one doing all the heavy lifting in, keeping my eyeshadows in place. For eyeshadow, I bought a lot of this About Faced matte fluid eye paint, and this is in the shade Capulets. It's my perfect everyday nude base color, and I'm gonna use it today. I will usually put a little bit on my eyelid, and you can use your hand or your finger or your brush or whatever. I'm using my finger today because I want to save time. It does look really good and natural and whatever, monochromatic. I have 10 of these matte fluid eye paints. I feel like some of them are easier to work with. This one is definitely one of the easier ones. The dark blue one is a little bit streaky. I'm not really a huge fan of it, but other than that, I feel like the rest that I have are all really, really good and really pigmented. I love it. So this is what my eyeshadow looks like right now. It's very much like I have a wash of color and I'm a clean girl. I have my life in my hands. Lower lash line, I usually would put some under here and I will use a brush. Just, do a few swipes and you're fine. I think this is my eyeshadow done. I don't really want to do much about it because I really need to go, but I would do this for an everyday look. For mascara, I use the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. This is the waterproof version. It's blue. And lash curler, I use the Muji one. Because mascara is kind of the most boring part of a makeup look, I'm going to talk to you about other eyeshadow products that I was really obsessed with. Another eyeshadow product that I was really into was this Kaleidos Quad. This is their brown one. I think it's espresso brown or something. I don't know. I really love this palette. You can see the embossing on this one is almost gone. I really love this palette for several reasons. First of all, Kaleidos' eyeshadow formula is just unmatched. It's awesome. It's pigmented, easy to blend, easy to work with. All that jazz. You like jazz. This palette makes a lot of sense on its own because you can see here is one of the main eyeshadow color, the other main shadow color. This one is more warm, this one is more cool toned, and you have a medium toned dark brown that would go with both of these colors. And then you have a shimmer shade, which is not just shimmer, it's more glittery, it's very much eye-catching. So wherever you go, you go with your company to a work trip, or you go to attend a wedding or all that kind of stuff, this is gonna be fine. You're just gonna bring this one and you're gonna be all set. I brought this on a weekend trip and I look good every day. I'm also tempted to try another one of their quads. I think it's the mauve one. I'm gonna put a picture here. I forgot what it's called, but I want it. I really want it. Another product that I use very often on almost a daily basis is the About Face eyeshadow stick. And mine is in the shade, is it Acidic? I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's in the shade Acidic. I like that eyeshadow stick because it's a very pretty pearly chartreuse, which works really well on my brown eyes. And also it's just a very easy formula to work with. I like to put it all over my lids and kind of tap out the edges, and that's a perfectly fine look, and people will compliment my eyeshadow even though I really didn't work too hard for it. That's kind of the theme of this video, isn't it? I kind of want to try other colors, especially the matte ones, because the one that I had is pearly. So when I do, I will show you guys. Before I forget, this is the swatch. I think this is it for today's video. I'm not wearing any lipsticks because I'm going to a rehearsal, which means if I put anything on right now, I'll have to wipe it off literally in like 20 minutes. So I'm not doing lipsticks right now, but just know I do want to try more lipsticks and I will let you know how I feel about them. Anyway, to be quite honest with you, I don't know what I want to do on my channel, but I just know, looking back at my channel, I know there's a lot of videos that I've done there I didn't really want to do myself to begin with. So I'm going to introspectively see what I like and hopefully create better content. And I think that'll be it for this outro. I really gotta go. So bye, see you next time.